Shut up and sit down.
What an incredible journey from startup to growth, transition to maturity, and today, legacy, zombie, and death. We're talking about the importance of keeping the vision relevant, refreshing, and recognized by every member of your team. Related to vision, it's not enough to see it, set it, and forget it. It must be re-examined and re-examined often to make sure that the course doesn't need correction. We've been looking at what Michael Hyatt discusses in his book, The Vision-Driven Leader, and we've really drilled down on something that he describes as the vision arc. Remember, he says there are 7 stages of a business cycle. What is meant by legacy? I think it's obvious. We get comfortable. We can see the sunset on the horizon while sipping brandy from the Chase Lounge. I don't even want to talk about these guys. These are people who don't listen to fresh ideas. They refuse to reignite the vision for discussion, and they're content to simply ride out their glory years at the expense of company growth. Zombie is another story. Zombie is a lot like the older companies. They're vulnerable to defaulting on their debts, according to Hyatt. They enjoyed legacy status, but the sun went down, and when it does, it usually does very quickly. Think again about Blockbuster. That's the one that really blows my mind. How were they not able to pivot and ward off the threat of a Netflix model or even the newer Redbox model? They failed to see the warning signs. When focus becomes more about preserving than persevering, the end is in sight. While not legally dead, they're acting dead. So they have trouble attracting new capital, so you might as well be dead. Now here's a great example of the Lazarus syndrome in action. We're going to look at United Record Pressing. I'm not even going to talk about the death stage because I don't believe that there needs to be a death stage, and if there is one, who wants to talk about it? But who would believe that vinyl would be back? Most people believe that it was dead, but in 1998, CDs finally surpassed vinyl. Hardly anyone was still pressing vinyl records, but something happened in 2008. The demand for vinyl shifted once again, this time to the hipsters, the millennials. They were drawn to the purity, the experience, the crackle. The stuff they had stored in grandma's attic is now collectible. I admit, I'm a vinyl junkie. I don't enjoy listening to CDs. I enjoy Pandora and iPad and all the stuff. Don't misunderstand, but I would much rather just sit there and listen to the vinyl turn on that turntable in my living room and just chill. Well, vinyl sales jumped from 4 million units in 2008 to 25 million in 2020. United Record Pressing increased its staff, already running 24 hours a day, 6 days a week, from 40 full-time to over 250 employees. Listen, if the market demands you or your service, even though you may think we're dead, we're in zombie land, you're never dead. Because somebody wants you. You have to find the somebody. Now here's another, and this will be our last case of study, and I think you're really going to like this one. It's Marvel Comics. Marvel Comics. I had drawers of Marvel Comics and baseball cards growing up. Today, I have one Marvel comic book valued at a little over $2,000, and I have one Roberto Clemente 1955 Topps baseball card in near perfect condition valued at over $42,500. Now they're insured, they're in a safe place, so don't think about breaking into my house. They're at the bank. Paranoid much? Listen, the most perfect card in the world today just sold at auction in the Roberto Clemente for $470,000, a rookie Roberto Clemente. Well, I had hundreds of these cards. I had hundreds of comic books in my desk drawer growing up. Probably thousands of baseball cards. Ruth, K-Line, Casey Stengel, Yogi Berra. I had one of those laminated folders where you'd put those cards into a pouch and collect it all. It's gone. Heartbreaking. I don't even know where it went over the years. If we knew then what we know now. Back on point, let's look at Marvel. Their superheroes saved the world for decades, but they couldn't save the company from bankruptcy. As they filed in December of 1996 after their stock collapsed from $35.71 to $2.30 in a matter of 3 years. Team, that is the definition of business death. In the sell-off, Marvel auctioned the rights to several of their superheroes, including Spider-Man, X-Men, the Hulk. I think Fantastic Four was in that group. Marvel wanted to emerge from bankruptcy with a restructured vision and a bright future. They joined forces with Toy Biz and emerged under a new name, Marvel Enterprises. Again, I'm quoting Michael Hyatt, who said that their new vision was comprised of three things. First, they decided to focus on movies rather than comic books. That was a radical move. Secondly, they leveraged several of their remaining crown jewels like Thor, Captain America as collateral to secure a massive cash reserve of $525 million from Merrill Lynch, which allowed them to bankroll 10 movies over the next several years. And thirdly, largely from the influence of Toy Biz, who were great at making toys, they decided to make movies out of the minor characters that few remembered, but picked superheroes who would make the best toys. They had no idea. They had no idea that they would also make the best movie characters. They conducted a contest, sort of a survey on what toys kids wanted most to play with. They had about 10 to choose from, and the consistent winner was a surprise to everyone at Marvel. Are you ready for who it was? What was the kid's favorite toy? Iron Man. Now this is a new vision, and they're not even smart enough to come up with the vision on their own. They left it to a bunch of kids to decide. But it brought them from death to life. How much life? The first installment of Iron Man made $582 million. Iron Man 2 made $623.9 million worldwide. Iron Man 3 grossed more than $1.2 billion at the box office, bringing the three movie franchises to earn more than $2.4 billion. That does not include merchandising, soundtrack, licensing, etc. Disney bought Marvel in 2019 for $4 billion. Failure is normal, success is rare. You may be thinking, game over, it's death, I'm done. My business is done. Listen, nothing is dead. If vinyl can come back, if a Roberto Clemente card can be worth $478,000, if a movie series can make billions off comic book characters, then you still have a chance. You're still breathing, maybe on life support, but there's always the chance. On November 23rd, 1984, Boston College quarterback Doug Flutie pulled off the miracle in Miami, throwing a Hail Mary touchdown pass that defeated the University of Miami 47-40 at the Muddy Orange Bowl. I remember the game like it was yesterday. Many of us remember that game. I couldn't believe my eyes. With 6 seconds left on the clock, Boston College quarterback Doug Flutie took a snap near midfield, scrambled to his right, and heaved a pass toward the end zone, threw as far as he could. The game had been hard fought, and it was believed that the team who had the ball last probably would be the team to win. Snap! The ball's in Flutie's hands. The rush is strong. He avoids the sack from a formidable lineman, and he heaves the ball as far as his small 5'10" frame could throw it. 48 yards downfield, Gerald Phelan outjumped the coverage and came up with the pass, snaring the ball despite 4 defenders on him in the end zone as Boston College defeated the defending national champions, Miami. I didn't know Phelan was behind this, Miami freshman Darrell Flynn told ESPN after the game. I took my eye off him for just a second to see where Flutie was, and it was too late. I looked back and the ball was in the air, and Phelan just ran past me. I jumped as high as I could, but I failed. That pass helped Flutie win the Heisman Trophy in 1984. Flutie passed for 472 yards and 3 touchdowns that day, including the miracle toss. But there wasn't a person in America who thought that Flutie at Boston College had a chance to win that game. I sat on my living room couch in amazement, tears streaming down my face, because I always root for the underdog. Well, You are somebody's underdog. I'm rooting for you today. People like you. They want you. They want your business to succeed. But it may mean you need to revision. Take it from me, it could be the best time of your life. It will force you to think of the improbable, practice the unthinkable, and deliver the impossible. Good luck, team. I will see you in our next unit of study.